students. I still remain your civic teacher, Kate Ikuderim. Today we'll be talking about orderliness. Orderliness. What do we mean by orderliness? Today we'll be looking at some examples of orderliness, merits of orderliness, and roles that orderliness plays in our society. Remember that last time we talked about electoral malpractices and the consequences and how to prevent them. If you do remember, we say one way of preventing electoral malpractice is to train and retrain INEC staff to do things in a proper order. That will bring us to the topic we have today. So now let's go straight. When we talk about orderliness, what does it entail? What does it mean? Orderliness simply means the way you do things in a regular and proper manner. Let's go back to our school. You have the time for each class. You have the time for break. You have the time for which you have to submit your assignments to your teachers. And if you keep to this time, that means you're an orderly person. You're somebody that can keep to time. You're disciplined and you keep your things in order. Let's take it back to our home. When you finish eating at home, how do you take care of your plates? I know some of us, after eating, they leave it there for mommy to come and carry it, or for the elder ones, or for the housemaid to come and clear. Or even still, some will throw their plates under their beds. I know one or two persons that can do that. I will not call the name. But if you're somebody that is orderly, you know that after eating, the proper thing to do is to take your plate to the kitchen and wash off immediately. So orderliness has to do with the way and manner we do things in the proper way. So on the board here, I have it that orderliness is the art of doing things in a regular and proper manner in such a way that it is systematic, neat, and well organized. So the way you do your things when you get to school, the way you arrange your books inside your locker, the way you comport yourself in the class, when it is time for break, the way you go out for break, and after break, when you come back, some of us will still remain in the field even when they have held the bell that it is after break. But if you're somebody that is organized and orderly, you know that there is time for everything. You put things in their proper perspective. You find out that things will go well with you. You will not have problem with your teachers. That is why we are teaching orderliness, not only in school, but at home. So that when you do things at home, oh, mommy will see it and say, wow, Destiny, what a good boy. Oh, Chiamaka, wonderful, great girl. So we are teaching you this so that in whatever you do, or wherever you find yourself, school, at home, in your play, you know that there is time for everything and a way of doing things. Now let's go to some examples of orderliness. We have decorum as one. When we talk of decorum, what does it mean? It simply means the way you do things in a proper way. Let's go back to our home. How do we talk? How do we speak? Or when mommy is talking to us, how do we respond? The way you respond or the way you speak will tell the kind of person you are. If you're a person that just open up and talk lavishly, just talk anyhow, they will know that this one is not organized. This is not an order person. This is a person that is not orderly. But if your teacher is talking and you're paying attention, even in the class, after teaching, you ask your question. The teacher will find out that you're a person who is orderly. That means you have decorum. You listen and you do things in the right way. Now, another example of orderliness is queuing culture. I know that most of us, when it is time for break, you see us running out to go and buy something. You find out that we crowd our food seller. We don't take time to queue and wait for our turn. Others will want to push to push others so that they will be in the front line, not wanting to wait for their turn. So queuing is a culture which needs to be imbibed in every one of us. We need to imbibe that culture in us. If you want to buy something, you want to buy your fuel in the filling station, you need to wait for your turn. You're going to the market to buy something. Others are there before you, have to wait for your turn. You're in the tap to fetch water. Others are there before you, have to wait for your turn. You don't have to push others to get to the front line. So queuing culture is an example of being orderly. Is an example of orderliness. Then we have a driving skill. Driving skill is another major example of orderliness. The way we drive. You find out that some people, you see them driving, you wonder, who gave this one the car to drive? The traffic rules they don't obey. When they see the traffic light showing red, you see that that is when they'll speed. The traffic signs are there for them, but you see that most of our motorists, they don't obey such. The way we handle our vehicle, the way we obey the traffic rules shows that we are orderly. There are some people, when they handle the steering, you find them calm. They apply their brake when they are supposed to. You see them, they are very patient. They wait for other motorists. They wait for even the pedestrian to cross the road. They are not always in a hurry, because they say it's better for you to be late and not for you to be late to where you're going than to be late, that is in being there. So we have to imbibe the culture of this driving skill, knowing how to drive. Not everybody that moves the vehicle is a driver. Driving entails a lot of things. You need to be patient, you need to be comported, and you need to be disciplined too, for you to be a good driver with a driving skill. And then the last one I have on the board as an example of orderliness is listening skill. Listening is a skill which is very essential if you need to be order, if you're a person that needs to be order in all you are doing. Listening entails listening for both verbal and non-verbal communication. What do I mean by non-verbal communication? You see, as I'm teaching, I move my hands. Not only do you listen to what I'm saying, you listen to the gesture, you watch gestures, the teacher's eyes. What is the teacher saying? You read meaning even into what he or she is not saying. So listening skill is an example of orderliness. When mommy is talking at home, do you just listen and it enters one ear and flies out from the other ear? Or do you listen to get meaning, to understand, and then put into practice what you have heard? So listening is a skill which somebody who wants to be orderly, or somebody who needs discipline, who needs to be to do things in a proper manner, needs to have. Having said that, we go to the next one, which is the merit, that is the advantage of being orderly. What are some of these advantages? If we are orderly in what we do, we say that it will promote what? Friendliness. If you're somebody who is always taking turn, yes, you come to a place where you need to buy something. Our school, for example, it is time for break, we need to go to the cafeteria to buy snacks. And you know there are people there before you. Of course, you have to wait for your turn. By the time you're queuing behind that person in front of you, you're making eye contact, you're making gesture, and you find out that that person will be friendly. The person will say, yes, I'm here before you, and you don't need to rush or go first to buy whatever you need to buy. So when you're ordering whatever you do, it promotes what? Friendliness. You make more friends than enemies. And then we say another advantage is that it brings about a sense of fulfillment. You know that, yes, there's time for everything. There's time for me to play. There's time for me to read. After reading, I need to pack my books, put them inside my bag, arrange my room. You don't wake up in the morning and then you just leave your room just like that. You know that you have to sweep your room. Time for you to take your bath. Time for you to take your breakfast and then help mommy too at home. So when you do all this, you tell yourself, oh, yes, I have done good. You don't need anybody to tell you that. You know you have done something good for yourself. You have that sense of fulfillment. I have done something right. So it's an advantage of being orderly. The next one is that it makes works easier and simple. If you're somebody who is organized, you find out that whatever you want to do, you do it so easily. It comes out simple for you because you have organized yourself. This is what I want to achieve today. This is how I'm going to go about it. And you do them just as it is. You find out that you do it stresslessly. And then at the end of the day, it becomes easier and simpler for you. Then the last one I have on the board as an advantage of being orderly is that it promotes peace. When you're somebody who is organized, somebody who is disciplined, somebody who waits for his turn, and you don't go fighting, you find out that everybody will be at peace with you. Everybody will want to make you his or her friend. And you find out in the environment where you stay, whatever wrong is happening around there, you will not be called for it. You find out that you are one of those that will be called 1 or 2 times to come and preach peace, to come and say how it ought to be. So we say orderliness promotes peace in our society or wherever we find ourselves. All right, the last one we're going to be looking on is the role of orderliness in our society. We say that orderliness does what? Is a tool of training people. If you're somebody that is organized, you find out that others will want to emulate you. They watch you. They listen to what you do. They watch what you do. And they see people praising you. They want to be like you. So orderliness serves as a tool of training younger ones. We also say that it is a way of promoting national growth. When things are done in a proper perspective in a nation or in a society, you find out that that nation or that society will grow in its production, in its human rights, and in every aspect of human endeavor. You find out that peace will reign in that nation or peace in that society, and then the nation will grow. We also say that when things are done in an orderly manner, it saves time. When you do your things accordingly, you save a lot of time and you save yourself a lot of stress. And we also say that it promotes peace in the society. When things are done in the proper way, you go out to buy things and you find out that there are others before you. You wait for your turn. You're doing what? You're promoting peace in the nation. And you don't go there, you push others. By the time you're pushing others just to go to the front and buy that thing, you find out that those that are there before you will complain and it might result to a fight. And in that doing, you have disrupted the peace of that particular place. But when you do things in the proper way, you're promoting peace. So we say orderliness promotes peace in our society. And then the last one that we have here is that it helps to reduce frustration. When you know that there is time for you to read your book, there is time for you to do your assignment, time for you to help your parents at home, and there is time for you to go to bed. And you do this, you follow them accordingly, you find out that what? You're reducing frustration. You do your things, you're stress-free, you go to bed and you are smiling. You go to work, this is what I have to teach today. You do that, you go home, you write your lesson note as a teacher, and then you go back to school the next day and you deliver what you have written. You find out that there will be less frustration in your job. And what are you doing? You're promoting your lifespan. With this, we come to the end of the class for today. So I'll see you in the next class. Take care of yourselves.